Geek Dad Life presents Toy Geeks Live Toy Talk Show. Tonight we're going to talk about the latest wave of TMNT Ultimates from Super 7, which features a more Playmate-style Rat King, which should make a lot of fans happy. We'll talk about all of that and more tonight on Toy Geeks. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toy Geeks. My name is Jay, and a very special guest host tonight is our good friend Kyle from Super 7. Kyle, how are you doing tonight? Thank you for jumping in as a guest host tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the timing couldn't have worked out better.
It worked perfectly.
I think I texted you. I was like, "Did you see that Rat King?" And you were like, "John's gone this week. Come on and talk." And so here I am. So I'm good, man. I'm excited to be here. Good to be back. What's up, everybody?
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. Especially just because the why though thumbnail was I mean, is that one of your most hated for people that may or may not know, Kyle, like you're the if there was like a TV show, there's a showrunner, like you're the showrunner for TMNT Ultimates, right? It's like kind of you oversee that thing. Is that?
I would say deal? Like production designer or like art director or whatever for that thing. Like Flynn still is the showrunner for Super 7.
He's like the executive producer,
but yeah, I've been designing on that line since Wave 1. So,
okay.
Yeah, with very few exceptions, I've worked on every figure.
So it's quote unquote your baby,
sure,
if you will. And
our baby, Jay, it's our baby.
Don't deny the lineage. But let me pull it up here. I have it. I got it just in preparation for tonight.
Yeah, I love reliving these memories. That's why I'm here.
So this was the thumbnail that we made for Sexy Rat King, and it was funny how it just ebbed and flowed with like the internet discourse where including myself, like, oh, I don't want this, I want a Playmates version, that's why I like these Super 7 toys. But then, like, it almost started to shift back. It's like, no, F those guys. I want Sexy Rat King. And,
I know.
Like, so, like, I don't know. Like, was this, like, one of the weirdest or, like, worst times you had running a toy line?
Yeah, let's... Not all of your trauma as a toy designer. Was this the worst?
Yeah, is this the one?
I mean, it's up there for sure. No, it was. I do remember taking a lot of that stuff very hard, but like I've talked about it before. Like it was an excellent exercise in separating, art v artist. I am not my work. My work is not me. And I was doing really. It's funny because I was doing really good one day, and then I turned on the YouTube app on my TV. And it's that thumbnail is the first thing. And I was like, God damn it. Which was
damn you, Jay.
Funny in hindsight, of course.
I hope so. I think I even said to you, like when we first hung out on anything we've talked, it's just like, to me, there's no heavy weight into it. I share what I love and I share when I don't. And sometimes the thumbnail just writes itself and you have to go with it.
Sure. No, that's true. And we'll get into it because, sometimes these accessories design themselves too.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I like that. All right, let's say hello to the chat. The chat is hopping tonight or week before Thanksgiving. Let me go up at least to 9 o'clock. We got Shiny Plastic People. Jace is here. Quip, Derek Dalzell, Nick Dillinger. Kyle, you're here in the chat as well. Wolf Den Collectibles is here. Fake Wood Table. Tony Taponi. Studio Henge Kenton in the house. Nelson A. James Vinipole. Brian Wiseman. Mint with Card. Whip is here. I already did Quip. I'll do it again because Quip is the shiz,
man. The
toy shiz. Cone Killer, Confuser, Christopher, Shiny Plastic People, Toy Geekosaurus, Jack Knight, Brian Brink, Master of the Charts, Stanley. I shall do Shiny again. Fake Wood Table. There's a lot of repeats here. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me scroll down a little bit more. We got Robert Bowers, Wage of Cine, Brian Carr, Riley Bob, Wicked Scepter is here. We've got, hold on, we got Benjamin Randalorian, Matt Bush, Robert McGavin, Mike Mann, Andrew Wiley is here, Alpha Magnus, Judy, Mint with Card, Cougar McGillicuddy, Jeff White, Power Turtle Busters Figure Reviews is here, Robert Alessandri, Pablo Gonzalez, Stalemate, Jared, Mark 44 Prime, Rock Nerd Radio, and so many more. Thank you for coming to hang out with us. We have a member anniversary. J-Rod has been a GDL family member for 15 months. Thank you, J-Rod, for being a family. Oh, Tree Shaker is here, old school viewers hanging out with us. Larry's Geeky World, Andy Silva, Tyridium Hanger, Andy Silva, 15 months as well, a GDL family member. So anyway, Kyle, yeah, you got to have the big news week this week. It's kind of weird. I feel like toy news is kind of slowing down post all the cons and the toy fairs and the pulse cons and like, is there a strategy to like you drop in this wave 11 now? Because it's you kind of had the news cycle to yourself this week almost as far as toy
There
goes.
is a little bit of that, and we just delivered wave 8 to some people, or like the majority of people have wave 8 now, and that's the cycle is one wave comes in, another wave goes out, so.
And that is the circle of
that's right.
lives.
That's right. No, and ultimately, like, it is a little bit slower around this time of year because a lot of people focus on in-stock buying for the holidays. It's not it's not the same level of excitement under the tree if you get an envelope with an IOU in it versus here's your Panther right now, which kudos to our boys over at Mondo for shipping that first wave out so people can get their Panthers ahead of time, myself included. I made the irresponsible decision to pick one up, so I'm very excited about it.
The cat's lair was that's the last irresponsible decision I've made.
Sure.
And I'm okay with that because that one is pretty irresponsible. That one kind of wiped me out.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah, it's I'm at least excited that my irresponsibility will be rewarded immediately.
Yeah,
I got my tracking. Yeah, it's gonna take a minute.
How's that coming? When I'll get that one in
good.
2 years?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's good. It's at the factory right now. Working on the outputs for tooling and stuff. Something like that. That's that big and that complicated, and also the first time we've done light up features.
That's right.
There is a little bit of there's a little bit more back and forth at the 3D file stage of because the factory has their specs of how they want it to work, and we have our specs of how we want it to look and function. And there's obviously we all want the same goal, but there's two different schools of thought on how that goes. And ultimately, we're the customer, and we have to guide them towards the right move. So it's just a little bit more back and forth than usual, but it is all in service of making it good. So,
no, I totally understand. I think, to me, it's take as long as you want, as long as when we get it, it arrives as its most idealized form.
I saw a quote today from, you play video games at all? You know who Gabe Newell is?
Which was it?
Gabe Newell?
No.
He is he's like the CEO, founder, whatever. He runs Steam and Valve.
Okay. Yep. I'm aware of him. Yep.
There was a quote. He was talking about, game delays.
Mm-hmm.
And the quote was, delayed is only for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Sucks is forever.
Yes. Yes.
So it's worth it to just delay it a little bit to make it good.
Yes, agreed. I like that. Delayed is, what was it? Delayed is
just for a little bit longer.
Yes. Sucks is forever.
Yeah.
We have a new GDL family member with Jace. Hold on, I got you.
I got family.
Got family with the GDL family. Patrick Gerard needs a shout out so he can have an alibi that he was here. That proves you were here for that one message. That doesn't get you much alibi beyond that, I don't know what you need this alibi for, Patrick. I'm just saying.
You got to automate that message.
Yeah.
Post every 5 minutes for court, I think.
Jeffrey Stalemate Ball, I irresponsibly backed the Cobra Mothership. And then Shiny Plastic People. Oh, you want irresponsible? I'm probably trading in my 21 Honda this week. I mean, that's pretty irresponsible. Honda's just less Hondas and Toyotas, right? They just kind of hang around. And then we have a $5 super chat from Renders FX. Awesome work, Kyle, on this round 2 Rat King. He's a special childhood character to me, so much appreciated.
No, well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's a team effort. We all made the collective decision to take a step back and comb through the what I've been calling constructive feedback.
Yeah.
Because if you say it with hate, it's not going to get you anywhere. So, but we always appreciate constructive criticism. So
I
we'll always take that.
preferred to always share my criticisms than hate, but I get it. It's much better.
It's a lot spicier to just let the hate flow through you, as they say.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
That's right.
But okay, let's talk about this wave. We'll close with Rat King.
Sure.
But I do want to say, I believe was this on Toy Anxiety or one of the things that you've posted or been around on. This Leo is just kind of a wholly original creation, right?
Yeah, he's a Super 7 original, and like I mentioned, it was on Toy Anxiety. That we're trying to have fun with it. We've been adding little bits of original pieces to all of the characters for a long time. I think the first one I can think of is Wave 3 April has like the headset head.
Yes.
And then, Casey comes with like the net for his like street hockey.
Yeah.
Ace Duck with his cigar and his Tommy gun and the mask for Samurai Leo. And then like it kind of evolved into a full figure with Gorilla.
Yep.
Which had a character in like the comics, but he never had a figure before. And then like Ninja April here was like a full on figure. And it was like, she feels like she's part of the vintage line, but she never actually was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so part of the thought here was like, okay, if we've successfully done it with, tertiary characters like April and Gorilla, like we should probably apply it to the Turtles as a whole too. And part of my initial thought here was like, kind of how do you make it feel like it's part of that vintage line, but also new?
Yeah.
And I know that the Samurai Leo really resonated with people.
Yeah.
And it really resonated with me. I am on record in many accounts saying Leonardo is my least favorite turtle. And so I felt like if I can make a Leonardo original design like compelling and fun, like the others are going to be walk in the park.
Yeah.
So tying to Samurai Leo here though, like Samurai Leo, I always thought of him like, if you think about that design, it's like golds and he's fully decked out and he's got the banner and stuff. Like samurais, usually serve like a shogun, like a warlord, somebody who's funding them, somebody who's giving them money to go fight for them and all that stuff. Other parts of kind of samurai folklore and mythology is that, what is a samurai without a master? And that's a ronin, that's a nomad, that's a wanderer. And so to me, my vision for this is after he serves for a shogun. He's on his own now. Cool.
Yeah.
He's walking the plains. He's walking the sewers. He has nothing basically. He's got the poncho. He's got the hat. And like, what's the one thing like a samurai actually owns is his swords. And so to me, this is the sequel to Sewer Samurai Leonardo, which is Ninja Nomad Leonardo.
That's sick.
So no, it's like almost like maybe there's a trilogy or something, and there's
And this is where, and I assume the little bio on the back is going to maybe tell a story like that. But I know you're shifting, you're kind of changing the boxes. You're not doing the sleeve and stuff like that anymore.
Sure.
This is where I kind of wish like you all did mini comics or maybe had more time or a more deep dive file card or something, because like the stories like that I think are really cool and just add to the lore of the toy, much like how for a lot of us G.I. Joes, He-Man, Turtles, whatever, it's just like sometimes all we had was the file card on the back to make up stories with toys. So no, I like that. I like this kind of different look to the bricks. I think it's pretty
this is very much like a licensing thing. Obviously I saw a lot of people comment like, oh, it's the IDW logo, like is he in? It's like, No, that's what's regarded in the license is like the World of Turtles
Yeah.
logo. So it's not tied to anything specific from a show or a toy line or anything. It's just like, this is what they think the generic Turtles
Yeah.
thing is. I sort of think of this as like the Elseworlds logo, but for turtles.
Yeah.
In a way.
No, and I think that's cool. Like to me, I think just it opens up so much for this line. But yeah, it's like I'd like to see Super 7 do more of this, right?
Yeah,
I think
that's good. I appreciate that. And I saw a few comments be like, "Oh, which vintage figure is this from? I can't figure it out." And I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Right? Because yeah, that's kind of what you're going for, right? Just like
Yeah.
you would think it was, but it actually isn't, and
Mhm.
I think that's a sweet spot for sure. Let's talk about one that is inspired by, but not like a direct recreation
Yeah.
of what was his name in the vintage line? Was it Rappin' Mike?
Yep, rapping Mike, just like this one. So.
But so walk me through the impetus behind some of the changes from the original one to the things that you've added to this one. Because the discussion is usually around like, oh, well, Super 7, they can't make Playmate style anymore. But what is the thought behind this design?
So ultimately, like we want to have those connections to the vintage line because it's the reason that a lot of us got into it,
Yeah.
myself included. But at the same time, we also have to push, like as champions of this brand, getting to work on it. We have to push the brand forward too.
Yeah.
And I think you've seen it. It's kind of a tale as old as time here. It's like if you like the licensors are there to make sure that the brand is profitable and like moving forward and into the future and getting more customers and more fans moving forward so that it stays, TMNT stays, this top tier pedigree brand or whatever that it has been for years. And so adding, like, if we rehashed it, like, that's great. Like we can, and obviously updating the articulation and stuff is what we want to do. And that's what people are looking for. But you also have to add new things to push it forward.
Yeah.
Because if you keep, if you never move beyond the comics of Turtles, then it would have died, in probably 1991 or whatever,
It's funny, the how Turtles has developed a lore even to begin with, right? It was a comic to parody Daredevil. Like the whole
exactly.
Like everything about it is to like just make a parody of the Daredevil comic. But but it's just so much time has gone on and the only reason any of us care about it is because somebody saw the marketing potential. It was like, hey, you should make toys out of these. It's like, okay, we're gonna make toys, and then it was like, we need to be able to sell these toys, so we need a cartoon. So then you make a cartoon, and so it's just I do find the irony to how enough time and enough iterations and variations and lore has been built to where it's like this thing is sacred, but really it was just a joke.
But at that time, like everybody was making new characters, new versions of the Turtles and stuff. Like they made them farmers. Like come on. So it's like there's a larger discussion to be had about collecting or whatever, or just fandom in general of like, I want the old thing. How dare you invent, even though the old thing was someone inventing on an even older thing. Like, it's just whatever.
Nostalgia's weird. Like I'm nostalgia driven and even but I think or at least I try to make sure I remind myself that nostalgia is a slippery slope. Like it's there's a lot of joy in going back and reliving things or going back to things. But there's also a danger of like only living in that.
I mean, we don't need to get political, but there are some movements that are founded on the negative aspects of
absolutely,
and stuff.
Absolutely,
so it's kind of crazy.
I
dare not invoke it. Yeah, exactly. But getting to take like that figure, but then like add sort of our own spin to it and updating stuff. Like I don't know, the belt buckle. I was like, let's just make it like blingier. Just make it bigger and golder, and
I love the gold,
that kind of stuff. The necklaces being removable is more of like just a personal preference thing, really, because there's some people on the team who like really love Turtles, and they're like, yeah, but that like Punker Don when he had like that like sculpted like Punk necklace on there. I was like, oh, I love that figure, but I hate that necklace. So we made it removable, so you don't have to look at it if you don't want to.
Yeah.
And so not necessarily like the same thing here, but there's almost like a elevated feel to it if you have like necklace accessories, that kind of stuff. And it felt more than just the decision to remove the clock it felt more turtley for it to be pizza.
Yeah.
Like, and also the thought was, I told the sculptors make it look like it's pizza that's like spray painted gold.
It does. It really does.
Sculpted pizza, but just like pizza they had that they spray painted. So yeah. And I did see a couple of comments in the chat here. The hat is on a swivel, so you can point the hat in any direction you want. So if you have him forward or whatever, or if he's a Pokemon trainer, he can pull it to the side as he throws his Pokeball or whatever, just like Ash. Both of the heads, that's good. Both of the heads are compatible with the previous Michelangelo.
That's perfect. Yeah, because even this non-hatted head, because that's kind of a bit of a modern take on this is actually a better modern take on the vintage head, which I assume is your strategy with this one, right?
That's basically it. Yeah. Because I know, like, I love this head. The like, the modern updated heads.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's fun.
I love this one, but I think it's great for Surfer Leo or Surfer Mike because he's there's a lot of movement and a lot of energy on that. But if he's just standing there and he's like screaming for no reason, it's kind of like, oh, that's a little weird. So basically you hit it directly on the head. This is the vintage expression, but in that more kind of modern updated sculpt style.
And it's even as a kid I was just like, there's somewhere just showing the teeth on one side. I don't know how that works, but whatever.
Sonic the Hedgehog and Ninja Turtles were famous for that. Then there's one other update on that, and that's the Knuckles no longer say Mike Raps, they say Mike Drop.
Nice.
And it's Mike. And then I'm not sure if it's visible on this one, but the boombox is double-sided. So the vintage figure had turntables, but this one has a boombox on one side, and if you flip it over, there's a turntable on the other side.
Oh,
if you
that's
go to
awesome.
Super7.com, we started adding 3D like turnaround videos.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Yeah. And so you can see the figure turn in space.
Hold on.
And that will show the boombox turntable double-sided feature.
My, how the turntables have turned.
Yeah, click on the mic one specifically. It's for each individual. Yeah.
Oh, there is a little vidya. Hold on.
Yep.
Here we go.
Yep. See?
Oh, that's fancy.
So yeah, all of them have 3D spins like that.
Oh, and this is actually really shiny. Is it going to be vac metal, or is that just like an effective?
How dare you say the V word?
Sorry, you're doing it now. It's on the
we are. It's probably just going to be gold paint because that's what was on the vintage figure. So.
I like how it's in 3 dimensions too. That's really clever.
Well, it makes you, it kind of helps you visualize, it on your shelf a little bit too. Like,
that's awesome.
I see that and it's like I can kind of feel it in my hands a little bit better.
Speaking of hands, this follows the Super 7 tradition of 75 hands.
That's rough, give or take a few. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think this Mikey looks sick. All right, Super 7, calm down. I'm already on your.
I'm sorry, mommy boy.
Okay.
He's very excited to see you. He's excited. He realizes that Jay has all the traffic go to his own website. Mommy boy's like, oh, Jay's here. He never comes here. Let's cut him while he can.
I think we linked to you guys.
I think linking and visiting are two different things.
Listen, okay, look, see, we're taking people to your website. All right,
there we go. Take it. All right.
But okay, let's talk about a repaint reuse, but a pretty popular one. I think a kind of battle damaged Foot Clan soldier is definitely will be popular enough. So walk me through some of the choices on the design of this one. Because I'm sure NECA's done this a few times, other toy I've done a few times. So, what about your approach to this one separates it maybe from some of the other toy companies that have done a battle damage foot soldier?
Yeah, I mean, there's some new sculpted parts, like his little cowl collar thing has some tears in it, and then that right shoulder, his torso, and then his left shin, and then his left kind of turtle guard thing are all new with damage and stuff, and the rest of it is like deco, which is kind of a pretty crazy like exercise in like how different a figure looks.
Yes,
when you paint it just a little bit differently. Then obviously the there's kind of like the alpha foot soldier from the show with like the blown out battle damage face, and then that robot face on the right is a nod to the Playmates kind of flip head foot soldier.
Yes.
But that one was obviously gold, but it felt cooler and more robot-y to be silver, so we changed it to silver, and it looks, I don't know, that much cooler. In my opinion,
I like the little Terminator hand. I think that's fun.
So that is 100% a Terminator hand. What I will tell you is that I try and sneak in as many movie references as I can. I mean, like, there's the Big Trouble Little China hat on Leo, and that is very clearly the Terminator hand where he's like, listen to me very carefully.
Yes. I mean, that scene still it lives in my head rent-free.
Yeah. 100%.
Constantly, it's just it's been there since 91 or whatever the hell that movie came out.
And then the wire hand it's Return of the Jedi. It's when Vader gets his hand cut off. So it's on the left side. I know it's technically on the right for Vader, but best part about these pegs is that they're universal. You can put it into the right hand if you want, guys. So
Smedberg asks, are the heads interchangeable for the other foot soldiers?
They should be, yeah. You may have the first one didn't have the removable heads, so you may have to like heat it up a little bit to get it off, but it should work. It'll be the same peg system.
Okay. And Derek asked, does the purple match the original Ultimate Foot Soldier?
Yes. Yes, it does.
And Jay says, this is why we love you, Kyle. See, people love you, Kyle.
Jace.
Not everybody hates you.
Thanks, Jace. I'm going to take that as Jace is speaking for the entire internet.
All right, and then I think it leaves the man of the hour.
That's right,
Mr. Rat King.
Right.
So yeah, I think when this dropped, you texted me. It was like, what did you say? It was something to the effect of like, "Is this good?"
I said, "Am I redeemed?"
There you go. Am I redeemed? That's what you said. And I think I told you then. I was like, yes, and I'll say it again here live in front of everyone. I think
glasses off. There we go.
I understand your idea of what you're going for.
Sure.
There's just and again, it just goes back to that nostalgia thing. But for me, I started buying Ninja Turtles in 1988, and from 1988 to like 1991, I was all in that range of toys. Like, I want every single one of those. I know I don't represent the entirety of toy collectors, but I think it's something for those hardcore turtle peeps from that range, those first 3 years or whatever, kind of like the core of and Rat King's one of them. And so I think maybe that's why there was such a visceral reaction to
for sure
Pretty Boy Face. But I love that you kept him in here.
Well, thank you. That's good. Can we address the fact that everyone keeps calling him sexy or hot?
He's handsome as hell. You don't
not a good looking dude. No, not at all.
What?
No. By comparison, sure. By comparison to the leper face that's on the body, yes,
hold on.
He's super hot.
Great. I gotta go back because and Colin, if you're watching, I think we got the wrong link rapper mic there, but I'm gonna go back. But while I tee this up, this 3D sweep around video view of him, explain to me how you do not think this is a sexy face.
He's bloodshot eyes. So he's clearly, high on something.
Have you seen Pete Davidson? I think he always has bloodshot eyes. And
you know what? It's funny is that someone did say that he that he's hot like Pete Davidson's hot. And I was like, that guy's also not hot. Like, what are you doing?
But he's hot in his own way, and I would say this is a sexy Rat King.
Yeah, big rat energy. Right? I don't know. I guess I kind of get it. It's like if Mick Mars or like Tommy Lee could get girls, like so Rat King.
It's exactly that.
Yeah. So shout out to our boys at Motley Crue.
Dude looks like Bruce Wayne undercover as a homeless man. Ziggy Stardust Rat King.
All right. They're starting to help me see it. Again, so glad I came on here to relive this trauma.
This is great. This is therapy. We're working through things.
Yeah. We're talking through it all. Yeah, it's great. No, it's
this is it. My Chemical Rat King.
Oh, that's pretty good. Actually. I like that we got to keep it. I'm a little bit frustrated in that like we were like, all right, we're gonna redo it, and then after that, everybody's like, oh, make sure you put the sexy head in there. I was like, where were you guys? But I think Craig said it on YHS that there's like an aspect of like, don't take away my toys. Like the second it becomes not an option, you're like, wait, I want
exactly. So he's sexy Rat King is canon now. So
he's a meme. He's part of like toy history now.
Exactly. So you have to deliver on him.
What did I say in San Diego? I was like, I hope everyone remembers me for my slashes and not my Rat Kings or whatever. Right? I don't remember.
But I just think I don't know. There's something to this thing now.
Yeah.
Where when I first saw it, and you can go back and you can check the tape, not a chance in hell I would have bought it or would have ever displayed it as an option. But now, just given the lore of Sexy Rat King, it's almost like, do I need a second one and have a Sexy Rat King on display as like, to
sounds like you do
this character?
Yeah, sounds like you do. So I'm gonna work my best to make that the best head that comes in the box.
And Sexy Rat King is the new ugly Sonic. Ugly Sonic is ugly.
I'll take it. Yeah.
But did you see the Chip and Dale movie?
Yes, amazing,
so
amazing,
good.
and what it was like the modern version of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Just all these licenses in one movie together. I can't even imagine the mountain of paperwork that must have caused.
But it was incredible. If you haven't seen it, but it just Ugly Sonic has a pretty, I would say, a sizable role in that movie.
Yeah, he's best supporting character for sure.
Best supporting actor, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. We have a couple super chats. I don't want to miss them. Allison Troy, $3 super chat. Vac Metal Sexy Rat King variant.
How dare you, Allison?
Michael Blob Kyle has Super7 looked into doing Black Star.
Yes, we've talked about Black Star. Doesn't mean we're going to do it, but it has showed up in a meeting once or twice. So
Video Power Gaming eBay store, $5 super chat. To quote Mad Hatter, the one head is day one living in the sewer, and then the other head is like 5 years later.
All right. There's storytelling to it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
It's young Rat King day one, and then grizzled vet.
That's right.
But yeah, I think like what in terms of your approach to this one, going back, I take us through that, right? Because it's like, okay, this was supposed to be in wave 9. Was it wave 9?
10.
10. Okay, so it's supposed to be in wave 10. You pull it off of there, say, all right, we're gonna go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Like walk us through that with this figure.
Sure. So he was supposed to be in wave 10. And Karai was supposed to be in wave 11. And I think that's kind of obvious if you look at it, because like it was supposed to be kind of like 2 foot members, 2 turtles in wave 11. And Karai is kind of thematically tied to Leonardo throughout a lot of the turtle media and stuff, so it just made a little more sense. And then there was the overwhelming amount of constructive criticism that we received from about Rat King. And so, we are basically at that point, like we had developed all of these kind of at the same time. And so we had Karai ready to go. And so we were like, okay, let's slot her in there. And we'll tell people that we're going to reconsider Rat King. And it was pretty much like that same week that it went up that we were talking about it. And so there was a little bit of like back and forth with the licensor, because obviously like they have things that they want us to do, we have things that we want to do. All of it's ultimately in service of like making a better Turtles brand. And so when you're working on these things, there's so much more to consider than just your own personal preferences. It's what do the fans want? What do your bosses want? What does the licensor want? What does what does the packaging team want? Like, there's a little bit of that. And so you try and check as many of those boxes as you can.
Does the packaging team carry any weight in those meetings? Are they like the last people to?
Sometimes, because it depends on the thing. Because I like very specifically told them, I was like, I don't want, like very early on when we were working on Godzilla, I was like, I don't want to make the tails removable. I want it to ship all together with the tail assembled, blah, 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 blah. And then when we got costing back and like them trying to figure out how they were like, absolutely not, you lose. We're gonna figure this out. Which is because if anyone has the Godzilla Ultimates, those boxes are like huge. And the Godzilla's 14 inches long or whatever. So like that would mean that the box has to be 18 inches, and it's just that's less you can fit on a container. So it's a very nice thought that I then was quickly squashed. And so they do have opinions. Shout out to the packaging team. And they usually have very good opinions as well.
Are they sensible ones? Are they like the accountants of the toy making process?
Some of them.
Okay.
Because there's packaging engineers and there's packaging designers. It's the engineers who are like, dude, what are you doing?
You're killing us. Stop it.
I told them, it was the like Rita Repulsa Ultimate that comes with like that whole telescope. I got a text or a Slack notification that just said really, and then like the picture of Rita, and I was like, sorry, man.
Did you do a Giphy back just like
shrug
Elmo?
But all of that is we got really sidetracked. All that is to say that there's a lot to consider all at once, and it is a team effort. So Josh did like our VP did like the initial like reconcept of Rat King, bounced it to me. I added stuff. We showed it to Flynn. He approved it. Showed it to Nickelodeon. They approve it. Then we go into sculpting and it gets finessed from there and blah, blah, blah. So it's like this huge, that's the other thing is like, I am the one who's fortunate enough to talk to you and be able to, tell you these stories and stuff. But nobody makes toys on their own.
Sure. It's not done in a vacuum.
No, it's not like, it's Kyle's fault for Sexy Rat King. It's like, it's all of our faults, really. So,
I mean, you can say that, Kyle, but we're going to blame you.
That's true. Yeah, I know. So I will happily take the L and be the face of Sexy Rat King.
No, because now there's love for Sexy Rat King, so now you just get to bask in the glow of having your cake and eating it too.
Sure. Yeah. My cake from the sewers. But if you want, I can get into like the design stuff. Like obviously you want to add, like if you look at it compared to the old one, the body is almost exactly the same.
It is, yeah. Aside from is this the centipede and
the millipede, the bones, and then the rats on the like legs and knees, which are
people
weirdly,
have said like this weirdly doesn't have it.
I don't know what happened there.
Okay,
it'll actually have the rats. It just means that they like clicked it off when they rendered it or something. Whatever. It'll have those. I'm not sure what's going on with that 3D spin.
Oh, hold on. Did you see this from Ryan Dole? I don't know if you want this. Kyle has become the Patrick of TMNT. I don't know if you want that heat, Kyle.
I don't know. I'll have words with Ryan when I see him next week for Gotham City Tonight. So. Thanks,
sorry,
Ryan.
Go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry.
You're good. It is more or less the same body. It's all the exact same hands and stuff. So, but it's just minor little details that got updated.
Yeah.
So, and so like obviously the flute is kind of like a big deal for certain iterations, and I always liked it when he's like playing the flute and like Pied Piper kind of vibes for the rats and stuff. And then you update the heads to be a little bit more vintage inspired with like the messed up nose and the bald patches and stuff. And the sexy Rat King is actually repainted as well.
Yeah, it's a lighter hair color, so it matches with the.
Exactly. A little bit of lighter skin tone too. We made him paler, I think.
Yeah.
So, or less. This skin tone's a little more pink.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you look at that first one, it's a little more yellow. So, but then I saw a few people notice the roadkill cat bandolier, which obviously, like the original vintage toy had like the cat roadkill belt.
Yes.
To me, it like you have to kind of, you can do vintage stuff, but you have to make it your own a little bit too.
Yeah.
Like again, otherwise you're just not moving the brand forward.
Sure.
So to me, it felt like a better iteration to like, kind of have it over his shoulder like a sash, and also a little bit more of my movie references here, because he, I don't know if anybody's gonna catch this, but because he's a king, I think of it as like a sash, like James Earl Jones in Coming to America. It's essentially it's my nod to the lion that he has. It's like the Venn diagram of like turtles and Coming to America is like essentially just me.
You're the one person carrying it over.
But yeah, King Joffrey Joffer. So that's my nod to James Earl Jones. Again, that's 2 James Earl Jones references in one Turtles wave.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
So yeah, that's, he's got a king, so he's got the royal sash.
I love that. Well, I didn't think even asked me to like, okay, you can get my approval if this cat is also a belt. But you said like it could work for that too, right? You can move it around
if you wanted to. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's like, how do you want to strap it on? I don't think it would work. I don't know if it would work as a belt in this form, but I think it works as a bandolier. So a little more militant,
Sure, absolutely. It's king.
And if you, yeah, exactly. Again, Joffrey. Now that it's like his royal sash, I feel like I just sold 2 more Rat Kings. If you go to that's right. If you go to the 360 spin.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I got you. Hold on there.
The cat bandolier, if you look at it, is held together by a rat.
Is that like a live rat is holding it together, like to keep it on?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Is he's like struggling. But also it's a nod to like the vintage figure had that giant rat in the middle of his back. And if you look at that rat, it's like it's basically just like a big round lump. It almost looks like a hunchback, because it's ABS plastic and it has to draft. So it like you can't really have any crazy details or undercuts like that. And as much as I wanted to do that, like I didn't want to put like an ugly flat rat on this guy.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to peg one in either, because then you have just a big hole in the back.
Yeah.
When it's not in there and it's on the back, so most people aren't even going to show it on their displays. And so the rat holding the cat bandolier together is my solution to like have it be in the right place, but not need to be there all the time and affect outlook of the figure when it's not in place.
No, that makes sense, and I do dig it. I think it's a fun way to get that or to allow that to happen. There's one thing I am not seeing though, the rat crossbow.
Yep.
Which isn't even in this pack. What are we doing, Kyle?
That's right. It's worthless. You should not buy it.
It's trash. Throw it all away.
No, we thought about it, but it just, again, it felt like an opportunity to make new accessories while still feeling like the vintage toy too.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and he's also quite a bit taller than the average like human figure in Turtles, because I think Rat King's supposed to be like 6'8" or something.
Yeah.
So there's cost associated with that as well. And the big crossbow is like, that's a lot of plastic and real estate.
Yeah.
So and to me the cat bandolier felt like the more appropriate thing to like put money into.
Yeah.
Plus you get fun other ones like the rat tail scepter. I like something about that one feels like maybe it's like the most low hanging fruit, like obvious choice for it's like, but how has he never had like a scepter as like an accessory or whatever? Because he's like Rat King. And then,
but I gotta ask it though, Kyle.
Yeah.
Couldn't we have dropped maybe 30 hands and gotten the crossbow still? Or is that not how it works? Is it not work that way?
That's not how it works. You knew the answer to that before you asked.
I'm trying. I gotta do my job here.
I know, but how else would he play
fake job that isn't my real job?
That's right. The points don't matter. The rules are made up. How else would he play the flute if he didn't have the flute?
You're
hands?
right. This one specifically, you do need the flute hands.
That's right. That's right. And I don't know about you, but I am pretty pumped on the fact that we got to give Rat King a dirty sewer shiv to stab his enemies with. That is not something I ever expected to like get away with. Like that is for sure like prison. It's called a sewer pipe knife, but like
because it's literally a pipe tape knife.
Yep. 100%.
Darth Vader. They have to make their hand quota, Jay.
I don't make the rules.
How dare
man.
you?
I just work here.
Andy Stoots. Kyle, don't listen to Jay. If these ever drop the vertical hinged hands, I'll lose my damn mind.
Got it. Can we lose the horizontal hinge hands though?
Soul Crap, you're gonna take those hands. Oh my god. Ignore the hands hate. All right. There was another super chat from Video Power Gaming eBay store. Any plans for a Super 7 Technodrome Cat Slayer? I mean, I think we've talked about this.
I'd love to.
A few times.
I've mentioned it. Yeah, you and I have talked about it.
Yeah.
It's been brought up. It's almost like the elephant in the room because it's roughly the size of an elephant at that scale.
But you know what though? that Cat Slayer is gigantic. It's such an absurd play set. It's so absurd. I was like, I have to spend $800 on this, honey. I'm so sorry. It's just it's too ridiculous.
I don't make the rules.
It's just I have to do this.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I feel like Technodrome is just as absurd. If you all ever went down that path.
I know. Would you want it to be like a full dome, or would you want to do just like a half?
No halvesies. It has to be, a dome that folds out.
Oh my god. Okay.
Don't have that's getting into the NECA diorama. That's not you, Kyle. That's not you.
Don't half ass something. Whole ass.
Whole ass.
The whole
one thing.
That's right. What was it on YHS that Technodrome is so ass? Is it? Ryan's here. Where's Ryan? Back me up, Ryan. Thank you.
We were yelled at for not pressing Kyle on Pizza Face, so please don't ask him. I'm not going to ask you about Pizza Face.
Okay. All right. Easy. My favorite kind of conversation, the one we don't have.
See, Technodrome would have to be big. Well, the thing is like, it doesn't have to be to scale because the if it's going to play homage to maybe lean more into the toy version than the tune version. Yeah. The toy version is small. It's a small scaled vehicle.
Yeah.
Compared to what you saw in the cartoon. So upscaling that to 7-inch scale proportions, it wouldn't have to be insane. I don't know. I'm just talking about my ass.
It'd be big. It would be
big. It'd be massive.
It'd be a lot. But it's, we took plenty of guff for not having the Thunder Tank roll out of the paw on the Cat Slayer.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm sure there would be.
Was there real guff? Like anybody that actually wanted that, I don't think really thought that one through.
No, I think that was the justification of like, I don't want it because it can't house my car. And and the Technodrome's the same way with like the way our party wagon is. Like, it wouldn't scale to that correctly. So,
which is fine. Like that's fine. Yeah. Matt Bush just poking the bear. $10 super chat. But what about Pizza Face?
Man, that is a very expensive question. Pizza Face is fine. I've been on the record saying I'm not a fan of Pizza Face. He freaked me out as a kid, but I also recognize how he's kind of gross. He's kind of not cool.
Yeah.
But he's important to that line, and there's obviously dozens of Pizza Face fans here. So
There's literally dozens of us.
dozens of us, yes. So he's been on my list for a while, but ultimately it's not just my decision either.
Yeah, absolutely. So whatever. All right. I did want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Since you're here.
Mhm.
A lot of discussion around the super discounts that have been going on for some of the earlier releases. And every time something like this happens, like, oh, Super 7 in trouble, it's like, well, Super 7 already made their money, so I don't think they're worried about this. But I think I had kind of a revelation because I'm seeing it in like social media and stuff where people are buying these waves at a discounted price and like almost rediscovering or actually getting their hands on these figures for the first time because of these kind of super cheap prices.
Yeah.
And I almost have now an opposite take to it where the fact that there's this clearance thing I mean, this is not just you all, like a bunch of stuff's getting clearance. But the fact that I think there's a lot of new people buying these toys that maybe will be kind of reinvested into future waves for the first time. It's actually, I think if you're looking at the pluses and the minuses, I think it's actually a better thing for the health of the toy line in the long run. What's your thoughts?
I would say so. I think there's the initial shock, and one of the 7 stages of grief is anger, the first one, because there was a lot of that in regards to that. Not on the same level as like the why though thumbnail, but
come on, it can't.
It's not. But there's like, does this have value? Is Super 7 in trouble? What's going on? Like, all right, guys, like this is not really on us. Like, this was a retail partner, perhaps over ordering, now trying to move stock because they have other waves ordered with us that are coming in. And they have to clear out, that's what clearance is. It's literally clearing it out of the thing to make space for the new thing. So, while this, it sort of hurts the brand perception here, at least initially, it's also out of our control too. Like, this was not a thing. And again, there are people who work on our sales team with our retail partners who like are much smarter than me and know about this stuff more than I do. I just
so it wasn't like a text being like BBTS. What the fuck?
No. I'm not involved in any of that stuff. I just make sure they look good and they function correctly. So, but I do think there is something to what you're saying of like, there's this opportunity for people who perhaps were not interested or, I'll pick it up on sale. Like, okay, money where your mouth is now, it's on sale. Like, pick it up. And now they're like, oh, wait, maybe they are good.
Yeah.
Maybe they do have value. So
maybe that why though thumbnail was just a little unfair.
Maybe, who knows? But what I will say is if you are interested in getting these figures, like Slash and Ace Duck are probably some of my favorites in the entire line, and that price is incredible. So pick that up.
Yeah, like under $20. Like that's
I'm thinking about getting that one again, like 3 more times, and doing repaints myself of like just mutant monstrous turtles or whatever.
So, yeah.
Just for fun.
But it's also like, it was just like piss you. I was like, they're disrespecting your baby. It's like, this is art, you SOBs.
Nah, it's fine. I mean, there is frustration in that, like, even though this is getting significantly discounted, like the cost to make the figures stays the same.
Sure, yeah.
So,
well, this is, I mean, I assume this is a loss for Big Bad. I mean, I assume they get a lower rate than like more smaller shops. But I know from like a smaller shops, or at least like John, like his shop, maybe there's like a $3 in profit possibly in selling it. So I would assume this is BBTS selling at a loss. It's not like
I would guess so
making
too.
them for.
Yeah, I would guess so too. Not 100% sure though.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure what their specific retailer rates are. But what I will say is that I picked up 2 more putties and a Mouser pack because those sales were better than my employee discount. So.
There you go. It's cheaper than the Super 7 employee discount. Matt Bush, friend of the channel, sent in a couple of the Mauser packs to the channel. So now I have some Mausers as well.
Nice.
Which is pretty
I
exciting.
think Dave Wheeler bought like, he told me it was like 5 of them or something. So he's got like,
it's kind of perfect for that, right? Because like,
yeah, oh, for sure. If you want Mausers, like, look no further, fellas.
Like $20, like, because I will say, like, I think it's said on the show, like, $55, that's too much for Mausers, but $20 for a bunch of Mausers, I'm in. I'm in.
It's $4 a Mauser.
Yeah. Plus, you get a little splinter there, and they got a little kid turtle. It's good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
BBTS has a lot of sales. Just imagine they have a full warehouse. I think there is this shift in toy collecting right now. I'm curious your thoughts on this, Kyle. Like where, and we're seeing this across the board. Marvel Legends, McFarlane. Like this is not just exclusive to Super 7. There is a kind of post-pandemic shift where maybe the people that kind of jumped on to toy collecting are shifting back a little bit, and now you're kind of seeing this course correction in the toy buying scale. There's a lot of stuff being clearance. Or is that it? Or is this just a normal part of the toy business as it stands these days? Like what's your perspective on that?
I mean, there are people who I work with and have worked with in the past that have been in this even longer than I have. I mean, for the record, I've really only started working in toys since 2015. So this is the first like big kind of, culling's the wrong word, selling, like offloading of stuff that I've seen. But I mean, I think that's a natural progression for most like collections. Is it changes, you get rid of stuff, you buy more stuff, and it's like it's cyclical because the collection's never complete, right? You're always looking for the next thing. I do think that there is like a significant downward trend in like buying patterns compared to like pandemic, and I mean, I'd see it in myself too.
Same here. I'm tightening up the belt for sure.
Just to like try and like, survive and not feel terrible during like pandemic times.
Absolutely.
Like, I bought so much just so I could get that like dopamine hit of like the package here.
I can't go outside, but I can buy some toys.
Yeah, exactly. Joy can come to me, damn it. Yeah. So I think there's an overall trend of that going back to a little bit more normalcy. And that just means a lot of people are over ordered, like maybe not over ordered. They ordered to match the demand that was at the time. But a lot of what's happening in like, at least in the collector sphere, is all like pre-order stuff. The problem with pre-orders is it takes like a year to get there.
Exactly.
And so the orders that were there that happened like a year ago are now here. But specifically, like Big Bad has the policy of like, you can cancel it, no questions asked, whatever, see you later. But then my guess is there's a huge amount of people who did that, and so now they're sitting on stuff. So
no, absolutely.
I do not work for them. I do not know exactly how they run their business. That is my.
I just tweeted that official
God,
Kyle.
Damn it, Jay! I told you. The opinions expressed here are not shared by Super 7 and affiliates.
I do think there's a bit of like the course correction. You're right. Big Bad, you can cancel kind of willy-nilly. And like I've even, now they don't do it anymore because I think they got wise to it. But I would do like Hot Toys pre-orders there because Hot Toys to me is like, yeah, let's go. I'm like, I shouldn't spend $300 on an action figure right now. And so Big Bad was great because like I could cancel without hurting myself. But now it's like, no, they have
NRDs now.
Which Sideshow has always done. And smartly so.
It's still only like $40.
Sure.
So to me, that's like a stupidity tax. That's like, oh, you got too excited. And it's like, whatever, sure. I'd rather do that. I'd rather lose the $40 than like $300, and now I have to flip it on my own because
exactly. And that, okay, I'm gonna admit some things right now. Like I have paid the stupidity tax probably way too many times. I've probably done it more than 5 times in the past few years. It's
same. I've been doing it with Mezco a lot lately, actually.
Oh yeah.
I cleared out a bunch of my Mezcos because when I moved here to this place 2 years ago, I had to pack them all up. And as of April of this year, I still hadn't opened them, and I was like, okay, this clearly means they mean nothing to me.
Yes.
So I'm gonna move them.
Yep.
So.
Yep. I know you don't do Joe's, but I figure we should at least check in and see. Well, this and I want to check it on the different crowdfunds.
Sure.
What's the? I mean, is there an internal thought that the Super7's have been so weird so far? Like y'all's crowdfunds, because the Cat Slayer just had these weird jumps, kind of.
Sure.
Right, and you got to jump where, like, at first I like Cobra Mothership was like dead DOA, like no chance in hell. But then you got to jump. You got up to like 1400. Still a ways to go. Is this just like is it a victim of the too many crowdfunds? Is it a victim of the O-Rings not being able to be like truly a part of what y'all are doing, or like is it just kind of a perfect storm of things right now, or is it like this thing can still pull it out in the end? Because you just got time.
I am like peripherally involved with this, only in that like I've heard what happens in meetings and stuff, but I didn't really work on this one. So
yeah.
Again, this is my disclaimer. I'm speaking to this as like a fan.
Sure.
I do think it is. It might just be the time.
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier. Like people are not really focused on pre-orders right now. They're focused on what they can get in their hands and under their trees.
Sure.
In December, and so that budgets become like an increased awareness point.
Yeah.
Right around this time.
Yeah.
Of year. So, and if you can't have it, then like not gonna buy it. That's at least my experience of it. So.
No, I think there's something to that for sure. Especially, I think it's coming right off of Cat Slayer so quickly, and like for me, I did the 6-week payment plan, so I was $200 just coming out of my account or whatever every 2 weeks or something like that, and I was like, it looks cool. I love 3 3/4 Joes, but I was like, I can't. And then Haz was like, you want some Ghostbuster props? Like, God dang.
Just when I thought I was out. Yep. No, that's good.
But I think, is this like, if this doesn't go, is there? Because to me, I loved the idea of bringing back O-Ring, and I know that as far as I'm aware, Brian said like this is only like a thing with this set. But is there a world where you all can be the resurgence of O-Ring? Because I just feel like we all want it so bad, and Hasbro kind of dipped their toes and just kind of like said, never mind, and never really committed to it. Is it a manufacturing thing with O-Rings? Like, what's the trepidation that seems to be there?
I think it's more of a licensing thing, and the licensor being willing to kind of hand over those reins and like fully move that opportunity to us or somebody else.
But could you be like, come on, you're not doing anything, just let us do it, come on. Just,
I mean, you can, but there's usually that's the big check slides across the table and that kind of stuff. So again, that's all part of another aspect of the business that I'm not really involved in. But
since you all, I guess, did the engineer, could you do O-Rings that aren't G.I. Joe? Like, could you just do another O-Ring to like as make it a part of Reaction or something? Because
I'd love that. I think can you imagine a turtle O-Ring figure? Like,
that'd be sick.
Wild, right?
Yeah.
I think there is something about the form factor is technically licensed as well.
Really?
I think they own that patent specifically.
Okay.
So it gets a little bit dicier there.
Yeah. What if you get like tweak
it would be rad.
Because there was like the, what was it? Those like knockoff Walmart brand ones or whatever. There's like other O-Rings that aren't like aren't true G.I. Joe O-Rings.
Yeah, they would have to alter the engineering though.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't have that like kind of like metal hanger shape in the middle with the rubber band and stuff. So
yeah.
I think there's something to that. But I that aspect of the business, as I understand it, is like kind of in limbo. I'm not 100% sure. So.
Yeah. Well, I think just even outside, just as a fan, I think it would be cool to get like O-Ring turtles, O-Ring Roger Rabbit. I don't know. Just give me like
O-Ring Power Rangers.
Yeah, O-Ring Power Rangers.
Yeah.
That That sounds amazing. So yeah, I do think there's, because at least just for me personally, like I think every kid had GI Joes, whether you were a fan or not. Like just somehow you had a GI Joe collection.
Yeah,
And
I had Cobras.
Right, I had GI Joe figures. But I always wished that my other toys were as fun to play with as the GI Joe figures. Like I say, their articulation was perfect. Like it wasn't obtrusive. Like it allows you to do all these cool poses, and they could sit in the vehicles easily. Like they're kind of the perfect toy in that scale
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a bunch of hand-me-down ones from my cousins,
Mhm.
and which means that the joints were just
like
gone. So
Yeah.
I was like, these are horrible. It was like, these are like marionettes. Like mine never stood up on their own.
Yeah.
Always face planted. And yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't know. I think there's something there. Let's check in on what's your thoughts on the HasLab Ghostbusters set.
It looks really nice,
and
it's really
still
great.
doing really well. It's over 14,000, well on its way to the 18,000 to get all of its tiers funded. It's
Nice.
very close to the trap holster fund, and then well on its way to the. I mean, this thing could hit over 30,000. We're not close enough to get to Brian Brink's final projection, but
yeah,
it is looking really solid.
That's really cool. I mean, I think Ghostbusters is an underserved fan base.
Yeah, it is.
And so, specifically like a movie property, like being able to do movie props like that, to me, that's like the dream come true for that fan.
Oh yeah, for sure. And just when you had 20-something thousand proton pack backs,
yeah.
So that there's already a base there.
Yeah, and don't all of them have? Oh no, only Ray has the trap in the first one, right? And Egon's got the PKE. I guess they all do, because I don't know. To me, the logic is like, we sold 20,000 packs. That's 20,000 people that need PKEs and traps.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or backpacks. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're 100% right.
So, because I mean, why wouldn't you want to have the full kit?
Exactly. Like it just makes sense. Like I got invited to one of those round tables with the Emily and crew from Hasbro, and that was kind of their logic. It's like, well, we knew this did so well. We looked at all the other props, and I'm like, well, if you got this, you're gonna want this. So there you go.
So what's the next one? Is it the goggles?
I think the goggles. I want the sniffer. Peter Venkman in his apartment. I want that.
Maybe
I don't know if that's as popular, but
for it. Yeah. What I will say is, I feel like the holsters are weak tiers. For me, it's just like random leather goods.
Yeah. I feel like it didn't matter. Like they could have put anything in there.
Oh, for sure. They could have just like, we put old leftover like ecto cooler in here. It's not liquid anymore, but you still want it, right? Or the the Slimer like cakes or whatever, like Twinkies or whatever.
Oh yeah. I don't know
that's my only criticism is the like. I was like, really, holsters? Okay.
Well, I think it ties into the prop people. Like people that want to wear it around. Yeah. Like I think they care about it, but like a toy collector's like, that's kind of. I don't want that. I want like some ghosts to put in my trap or something.
That's true. And I guess if you think about it that way, like if they didn't make it, there's now an entire secondary market of customizers and leather workers who would make that in cosplay. And so they might as well collect that revenue for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I get that. Okay. I just talked myself back into it.
Never mind. Rescind.
Forget what I was saying. Yeah.
Okay. Here's a question a lot of people have asked. So, Super 7 Real Ghostbusters, like you saw, I think mutual friend Alex's Real Ghostbusters that look absolutely incredible.
Yeah. He's caused a lot of problems for me with that post.
But like, is there a weird licensing thing with Real Ghostbusters? Why people haven't jumped in? Because it seems like out of the beloved 80s cartoon franchises, nobody's really touched that one. Is it a Livewire thing, or is it just like people haven't pursued it, or is it a Sony thing? They're not really in
maybe.
tune with it. Like it's weird that one hasn't been.
I haven't personally been involved asking about it. So
yeah.
I remember though when we did because I worked at. I've talked about it on YHS, but I worked at Cryptozoic a long time ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I worked on some Ghostbusters products. And specifically, we worked on there was these blind bag minis that I worked on.
Yeah.
Of it was all the comic book versions of the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And I had asked, I was like, "Yo, can I put a Chase Sam Hain in here?"
Yeah.
Or something, and they were like, "Absolutely not. Your license is for this, not for real Ghostbusters and stuff." So my guess is that it would just be a matter of adding it to an existing deal or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I also haven't talked to Sony. I haven't worked with Sony in 5-6 years at this point. So there's also a very real chance that they're just like, nope, we don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah,
even though they own it. So my guess is that they're probably focused on
the movie.
moving the brand forward, moving the brand forward, new stuff, not nostalgia, because I don't know. Couldn't tell you why. So that would be my guess. But I mean, didn't Diamond do real Ghostbusters
Diamond did
less than 10 years ago?
They did.
So
and now they're stupid expensive to get those figures.
I bet.
Yeah. Because that's how this game is played.
That's the game. That's right.
Clearance when it first came out, and now they're $800. It doesn't make any sense.
That's right. But that said, buy your Super 7 TMNT on clearance now, $800 15 years from
now. Clearance equal profits?
Yeah, I did not go to math school.
Math school. All right. Black Friday's coming up. We have Colleen's been kind of coalescing Black Friday stuff. So if anybody's shopping Black Friday, you can use geekdeadlife.com/Black Friday or anywhere else, but we have a bunch of affiliate links. Are there any, Kyle, any things coming up for you, or at least you hope maybe it's a Black Friday deal that you want to kind of scoop up? Maybe.
See, I have this problem where I see something and I buy it and I don't wait. So there's not a ton of that kind of stuff.
So you don't play clearance chicken?
No. And I probably would be better rewarded financially for it if I did. But I mean, I've been getting big into SH Monster Arts and stuff a lot lately. So if some of those start getting cleared out, maybe I'll grab some of those. But also at the same time, I buy all the ones that I want to. So that, or I'm usually I usually only army build if I can get it on clearance.
Yeah.
So if there's a bunch of those foot soldier or hand ninjas from I'm in the zone. Hand ninjas from Marvel Legends, I'll pick a bunch of those up, right? Because I remember Black Series, I picked up the Death Watch Mandalorian figure from Black Series. I think I have 5 or 6 of those because that was just a great figure that I was able to get, and the Dark Troopers. I think I have 5 of those because at one point they went down to $10 somewhere, and that's just a great figure. So I don't know. It's I guess it sort of depends, really. I know it when I see it.
No, absolutely.
What about you?
There's at my Target they had a whole row of Sabine Wren from the Ahsoka series, 3 3/4 inch. I'm just like, I'm gonna play clearance chicken on this one, as I feel like I can get those for cheaper than $27 or whatever it was for.
That's a lot. I mean, you could probably still get a Lando pretty cheap though.
Yeah, exactly. Quip clearance chicken, cluck around and find out. Let's see. $5 from chat. Forklift America. Speaking of reaction, can we please get updated Voltron Paladin figures?
That'd be cool. Yeah, I don't work on reaction anymore. So
wow. What do you even do anymore? Gee,
I know.
Do you even work there anymore?
all I do is ruin childhoods by making it. It's like, hey, you like that figure? Well, now it's hot.
Wait, exactly. Oh my God. Okay. Speaking of pizza face, what if you made a sexy pizza face?
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
Pizza face, but hot?
Yeah, people would find where I live for sure.
You have to do that now. You like. I hope you realize, like, maybe it's an April Fool's thing, like, but maybe you.
That's actually not a bad idea. But let me waste thousands of dollars of labor and licensing and all that stuff just to make Jay laugh. Let's do that.
Sexy pizza face. Oh, there's so many.
The other thing though is if I did like April Fool's sexy pizza face,
Yeah,
and then didn't have a real one,
people would be pissed.
that's game over. I'd have to get a new passport, flee the country.
But okay, there's so many talented people that watch this show. And you know, there's been fan custom sculpts and stuff like that. Like maybe I don't know if you saw Nostalgia Unbox, he was making up this one character, and then somebody actually recreated and made that into a toy and made art for it and everything. So like maybe
That's
instead of
cool.
having to waste thousands of dollars in R&D or whatever, like maybe someone can like make a sexy pizza face. Is like
I can probably draw one up pretty quick. So
there you go. Sexy pizza face coming soon.
Yeah. That's the prequel. It's like before he got
exactly. You have to assume Pizza Face was a handsome, upcoming restaurateur.
Yeah.
But then you have the grind
ravioli or something. Yeah.
Yeah, the grind of having to
exactly
sling pizzas.
That's right. Yeah,
Just
like
walk 'em down.
Muckman's real name is Garson Grunge, right?
Yeah.
We have the little like name tag on the figure.
Maybe that's a whole series, just like when, like before they were grotesque, just like the sexiest versions of. That's a wave.
TMNT Origins.
Yeah, TMNT Origins. Taste the Difference did a $5 super chat, but no message. So Taste the Difference. Thank you for that. I'm sorry that there's no message there. But
it's gonna be. Sorry about that. Taste the Difference. But that'll be the tagline for Sexy Pizza Face when it comes out.
Taste the Difference.
Yep. Spelt like that with a little apostrophe.
Taste the Difference. TMNT Sexy Origins.
Amazing.
Oh my God, this is dark. Pizza Face would be Salt Bay who finally Kyle was coming. Damn.
Dang.
That's how you really feel, Andy Stutes.
Pushed into a vat of boiling cheese or whatever. The worst part about that figure is he's got the little guy underneath the hat.
Yeah.
It's so gross.
And like he has a finger that's being like cut off. He has like a half a finger.
Which the implication is that it's in the pizza, right?
Oh damn! I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Where's the finger, Che?
That's now you know when you make it, you have to actually sculpt in the finger in one of his pizzas.
The pizza has to be. Yeah, man.
SA asked 2003 TMNT info, please. Yeah, I think that was something that came. Like any updates there? It's kind of like we'll know when we see it, kind of thing. Or?
Yeah, you'll know it when you see it. I'm working on it right now, so it's coming along nicely. It will be the next wave. So
sweet.
But none of that's new information. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how are you going to separate it? Because I feel like the alternate heads to the vintage heads kind of had that feel to them in a way.
Yeah.
Like, so how do you make them different enough to where it's like, okay, I still want to get those versus the turtles I already have?
My thought would be to like really stylize them and try and make it feel like that cartoon come to life.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah. Is it cartoon or toy based? So I think you have to lean into the tune more, right?
Yeah, cartoon. Yeah, because the toy ones like were cool and I had them, but like they also were like weird. Like some of them were like weirdly off model. Like they were like close.
Yeah,
like the turtles specifically, they like made their like heads like way more football shaped in the toy. versus like they're very like round and like stocky in the
Yeah.
cartoon and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of like comparison and decision making going on around that. So
and then Jace asks, is the 2003 TMNT an ongoing line or just a few cameos, Turtle Shredder and done?
Not 100% sure. I think the plan right now is the core team plus a couple bad guys. But what I will say, just like anything else in this beautiful system we call capitalism, vote with your dollar. If you want more 2003 stuff, buy as much of it as you can.
Yeah.
So,
for me, I love that style Casey. So
me too.
Casey's got
it. It's more or less like just the Mirage Casey, but with like jogger pants on.
Well, so. I always thought he had kind of a bit of an Elias Koteas kind of vibe as well. Like there's a bit of that to him too that I like.
I don't know who does the voice for that Casey, but that's the Casey I hear in my head because he's got the very like, "Hey, I'm walking here, Casey Jones, come to meet you," like that kind of talk.
Yeah.
So it was like super New York. I was like, all right,
which is that to me makes sense. The Tune one was like it was Clint Eastwood, right? They were doing a bad Clint Eastwood impression. The Tune one,
yeah. It's like bad dirtbag. You're like, okay.
So. And then Hun. I mean, Hun was huge. In the vintage, or I guess that's vintage, but
Hun the Detolf breaker, just 8 pounds of plastic. You think Gorilla's big?
Yeah, 100%. And this, I think it's a fair question. Wolfgang Collectibles asked, like, what about 2012? Like, if 2003 is a thing, could 2012 be a thing, or is it a licensor kind of thing? Like, who knows?
It's more of a licensor kind of thing. I also think that, at least for me, with like we talked about nostalgia, the way that I see it is like the nostalgia window, moves forward slowly.
Sure.
And the people who are into, or let's say the people who like grew up on 2012 or were introduced to Turtles through 2012, don't necessarily have the expendable income to buy 2012 products lately, or like at this time. So obviously there's people here, myself included, who think 2012 is awesome, but
I'd argue it's like maybe the best tune.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Show.
Yeah, specifically though, like 2003 has not gotten shine in a very, very long time. Since that original line, and that's I think you're starting to see, like, obviously there's a lot of love for 80s properties, but you're starting to see more 90s properties get their shine, and that and that the 90s also ended, and so now we're getting into the aughts, I guess they call it, the 2000s,
the aughts, right?
So I think this may be the first kind of step into that.
Yeah, I hate that 2003 was 20 years ago. Like, what the hell is that about?
Me too. Not a fan.
There's just this weird thing about the year 2000, which is that still feels like now, and the 90s feels like 10 years ago, or and now it's like, no, the 2000s is 20 years ago.
Oh,
and 1990 is 35 years, whatever.
Well, when somebody says 30 years ago, I was like, oh yeah, you mean like the 70s?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, no, that was 60 years ago. Like, what? Shut up. That's not a thing.
Yeah. It's too much.
But anyway, a lot of people are talking about. I wish did I star it? People are all over this Black Star thing, but they're saying, "What a perfect time to unveil Black Star on Black Friday."
I like the branding there.
But, maybe not in time for
the other question is if we introduced it on Black Friday and there's no discount.
Ooh, you're right.
Would people be disappointed?
Yeah, I would.
You mean I have to pay full price for something?
Yeah, I would make a thumbnail like Black Friday blunder? Question mark.
Black Star Friday. Yeah. Question mark.
Or actually, that's what it would be, because I like the alliteration. Be Black Star blunder? Question mark. How do you release it on Black Friday but no Black Friday discounts?
Well, so what we should do is we should be like, these are worth $120, but we're selling it to you for $55. How's that?
I love a lot of memes going around, just like, hold, it's $4.99. Hold $4.99. It's just like, now it's
down
Black
from
Friday.
$620, $4.99.
Yeah,
go.
Capitalism is stupid. Alpha Magnus, $2 super chat. Voting with
There
my
you
dollar, undercover Donatello, please. Yeah, that one's kind of like it's out there in the ether. Yeah,
I like it. Yeah, it's the second time today I've been asked about undercover Donatello. What I will say, voting with your dollar though, all that money goes to Jay. I see nothing. So
shut up. Well, in fairness, I think like 50% of that goes to big G, big Google,
big YouTube.
Yeah. But no, I think that's fair. But it is it mapped out? Like, I go back to the old Scott Knight, like Matty Collector Mo2 Classics days, which is like we got in a room and we mapped out 15 years of releases. Is it that locked in for you all? Or is it kind of like each wave you have things you want? It's a little more jazz than like rigid, like whatever.
What I will say is that it used to be a little bit more planned out. It's a little bit more jazz lately.
Yeah.
For sure. And that's not to say that like we're just seat of our
Winging it.
pants improv. Like there is still a lot of planning and like
Mhm.
approvals that have to go into it. And we actually get ahead of stuff now more than we used to with the licensor, where we meet with them. It's called what's it called? They're both acronyms.
Mhm.
It's ICR and BDO. And what do they stand for? BDO is Business Development Overview.
Mhm.
And that's like, hey, here's the plan of stuff we think we're going to make this year. They have feedback, they tell us about it. And then you get into ICRs, which is like internal creative reviews, which is like, hey, we designed it all. Like, let's talk through it. What can we do? What can we not do? And all that stuff. And so it's like, it is like, you do have to plan out a little bit more, but there's been like, sometimes there's a fire drill, like, oh, they don't like the Rat King you drew. And so now you have to you have to scramble a little bit and fire drill there. So you can try and like plan as much as you can, but something about best laid plans or whatever. So
sure. Yeah. Absolutely. TGRI, what is that formation to? I don't know what that could be about.
TCRI?
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. Or is it TGIF and TCRA like combination?
Thank God it's
and then last thing here, Kyle, Toys R Us coming back, baby.
What? Finally.
Second location opening up in the Mall of America. The second of 20.
So not close to me. Got it.
No. But the second of 24 planned flagship locations in the US.
Nice. Very good.
I don't know, like I know you're San Diegan bound, so I don't know if it'd be like, but see, there's not many malls left in San Diego. Like Horton Plaza's gone. Mission Valley's kind of a ghost town a little bit. Or it's kind of, I don't know.
I don't think UTC would ever put a Toys R Us in there.
Yeah, UTC too fancy.
Yeah.
Is Parkway Plaza still a thing? I haven't gone there in a long time.
Yeah, I think so. Weirdly, it feels like Toys R Us would go in like North Park somewhere or something.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. But there also used to be a Toys R Us down here, like not that long ago. I feel like I visited one. Like it was before they like closed.
Yeah,
they like bankrupted or I can't remember where it was though.
It was by, or at least the one that I grew up going to as a kid, the one near Grossmont. And right. It was still there up until they all closed. So I took Zach there.
Yeah.
The year it closed, I was like, son, this was my Toys R Us. Go and pick yourself something out.
Now I pass it on to you.
Yes.
Right before it closes.
Right before it's gone forever.
No, I don't know. I feel like I should go back by that old location and see what it is now. Because if it's just a Spirit Halloween or just like a husk, then they can just move right back in.
Yeah, you know what? Why not? I feel like these things are trying to be mall stores, but there is something to, I don't know, like, and again, we're kind of like nostalgia is a slippery slope. It's like, I don't know, it just takes over some of your old locations again.
Oh, for sure. There's the one that was by me growing up. Is like it's like a strip mall, but like it's hard to get to because it's like next to train tracks and in the bottom of like a valley and stuff, next to like Bath and Body Works and Borders Booksellers, like all these just like old retail places that are not there anymore. So Best Buy is like the only thing that's like kind of worth it down there anymore.
Yeah.
But like the Toys R Us that used to be there, like it still is just like a shell there. They've never replaced it with anything. So it's just like, just open that one up again.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know. Like I used to go there for like midnight releases of Star Wars merch when
Oh,
the movies
yeah.
were going for was it Force Friday or what was it called? I don't remember.
I don't know. They had a bunch of different names, but you're
It
right.
was always
Force
like
Friday.
the Friday before that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was the thing for it. And so I'd go there and get. I remember doing that for Force Awakens. It was so exciting, and yeah. So hopefully that just happens again.
I just want something because I'm sick of Canada and all of our Canadian friends rubbing in our face all
for sure
that dang time, like
yeah, so
toying
smug
around,
about it.
Mega J Retro, like, oh, I'm gonna go check out Toys R Us. Let's see what's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jerks.
Well, you'll have to do a video like a toy hunt thing. And it's like, and this is where I'd put my Toys R Us if I had one.
You just enjoy this free healthcare and a Toys R Us. This is
So
why we're
spoiled.
so happy and kind to people.
Apparently, that's not true anymore. Apparently,
What?
Americans have been voted nicer than Canadians.
Really?
Yeah. Breaking
Wow.
news. Yeah.
Triple Force Friday. Yeah, that was the last couple were Triple Force Friday.
Mm-hmm. Because it was it was like Mandalorian and something else
it was
or whatever.
Mando. Was it the Rise of Skywalker? Was it like in the video game?
Yes.
Something
that sounds
like
right
that?
to me. Yeah. No, I think you're right.
Something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Dole. Then move up here then. Healthcare and toys. Grow up.
Can I move in with you, Ryan?
I don't know, Ryan. Like it's Ryan, an incredibly incredible human being, but I don't know if he'd want to put you up in his apartment.
Last time I talked to him, he offered me a job in movies. So I feel like moving in and creating our own sitcom of two grown men collecting toys is the next logical step.
I would watch that show for sure. Quip, I'm jealous too until Mega J and Ken share those. But isn't that in the Canadian loony or whatever? That's like, one of those equals 1/50th of a dollar. So
you mean the skee ball tokens that they use for money up there?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think you got to convert, Ryan Dole, Kyle can move in with me.
Hell yeah.
Let's all crash at Dole's house. Maybe that's what we need to do, like a fan meetup group event where we just all go to Dole's house and crash.
Yep. Enabler House Part 2, but at Dole's.
Yes. And he's just like, dudes.
That's a really good Dole. That was
That's all I got.
That was very good.
All right, Kyle. I don't know. Do people want to? Do you want to get a? You want to do a stump, Kyle? Like, I don't know. Do you like playing that game?
I can try. I mean, I'm probably gonna lose all my nerd cred, but we can try.
I got one that's kind of interesting.
Okay.
I don't like. What's your, in terms of your collecting? What would you say your expertise lies? Like, where's your? What phase would it be?
You know what's weird is, or it's not that weird now that I say it out loud, is I'm pretty good at remembering reaction figures and like what parts were tooled where, and have we done this example of this in a figure before, and that kind of like I don't have to like look that up. Like I can just kind of know where that is, and it's same with Ultimates. So, but that helps me in my job. So I don't know if that really serves anybody else other than me.
Well, I don't know. We'll kind of see. I guess
I'm pretty decent at Mythic Legions too. I guess just because
I don't have
parts
any
are
of
shared
those.
and stuff. So who knows? I can try though. So
let me see. I want to make sure. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do these two. I have two accessories.
Okay.
Or two sets of accessories.
This is gonna be This is gonna be the fastest you've ever played this game.
Well, because I'm trying to think of like what's fair to you, but I feel like this is kind of a fun play at this. But before we get to that, if you want to come hang out with me in After Dark, Kyle, you're more than welcome to join, but you don't have to because I know you're busy in your life and everything. But I'm gonna be sharing my last wish book. Not that it's the last one I have, but this Toys R Us big toy book from 1997 was the last time I circled shit in a wish book and put it on my Christmas. I was probably too old to do it at that point, but I still did it. And there's a big reason why. I think it's kind of cool. You wouldn't expect this specific toy line to be featured in this wish book. But yeah, so after dark, come hang out. Still rocking all these wish books that I'm going through. We did it on Dole's show.
That's really cool. I remember doing that as a kid. Like I would always circle all the stuff I wanted. Like, yeah, just so cool. And then Amazon tried to do it and it wasn't as good.
Yeah, it just doesn't have the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same. Not the same. All right, here we go. Are you ready though, Kyle? Don't stress.
As I'll ever be.
You're gonna do great. You're gonna do great. Let's see, where is it at? Here we go.
Oh, there's music.
It's that time again. It's time to stump Kyle on his knowledge of toy accessories. Yes, he loves to make a ton of hands, but we'll see if he can have a hand at guessing accessories in a segment we have to call Stump Kyle. So everywhere all around the world, it's time to do what? Stump that Kyle!
If it's a hand, I'm gonna lose it.
There's no hands. No hands, but let's give a hand
I thought
to
this
Kyle.
was your I thought this was your revenge. Like, tell me which hand, tell me what figure these hands come from, Kyle. Because I don't know. Yeah, anyways.
They're from your toys, Kyle. You don't even know anymore.
Gotcha journalism.
Gotcha.
That's right.
All right, here we go. Let's do this. It's kind of a modernish, but I think some of the maybe gives it away. I like this, by the way. Confuse that, Kyle. I like that.
That's pretty good.
I mean, Brick, if you still want to do this, please have at it.
Let's see. Is this a Beavis and Butthead?
Oh, you got it. It's Beavis and Butthead. Can you guess the maker? Ooh, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough to guess.
It's not Super 7.
No,
I know
no, it's not Super 7. No.
Who made Beavis and Butthead?
It's from the 90s, 1998.
Sure.
And it's a toy company that I don't even remember anymore.
Applause?
No.
No? Okay.
Even like a deeper cut than that.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
then I'm lost at that point because I wasn't even collecting toys at this point. Probably.
More collectibles. MOORE collectibles. 1998.
So if you don't even know that collectible company, how am I supposed to?
I don't know. Like I'm not like I don't know.
It's
Margo.
true. It's not Stump That Jay. It's Stump That Kyle. Moving on. Yeah. This is about Kyle, not Jay.
More action. What did Elson Moore do? Like I guess I don't.
No idea.
I don't remember.
Well,
all right. So
what was their last thing? Because
I'll
never
give
made
you
more after that.
I'll give you the win on those though.
All right, Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead.
Okay.
All right, here you go.
Is this Spy versus Spy?
It is Spy versus Spy.
Okay.
Do you know the toy makers? This is another 1998 release.
Who would have made? Did Toy Biz do Spy versus Spy? No.
Well, maybe they did, but not these ones specifically.
All right.
Toy
I feel
Biz.
like I'm focusing on like what brand it's from.
You did great. You've done great. You got both brands.
So, okay. Man. No, I mean, obviously all I want to do is Google, but then you'd hear me because I have this like very loud keyboard. No, I have no idea who made them, but I know it's Spy vs. Spy.
You got it. Spy vs. Spy is correct. It is DC Direct 1998.
Get the hell out of here! Really? All right.
Yeah, that's
wow. Way to go, Dole.
Kyle, you did really well.
Oh, that was it. Okay, good.
Yeah,
cool.
I said I only had two.
Nice.
Bravo.
Very good. I don't know. I feel like those were underhand lobs, maybe.
You'd be surprised. Other
Easing
people
me
do
into
this.
it. So, all right. Well, that's good. No, I had no idea that the DC directed Spy vs. Spy.
Yeah, neither did I actually. I thought like not Super7. Sorry, McFarlane or somebody would have done it in the late '90s. It was kind of like McFarlane. I felt like was the.
They were the big ones, but they were very much all about like sports, especially late '90s.
Yeah. Yep. Ryan Dole, triple threat for the title confirmed. Yeah, Dole, I guess, still technically holds the title for Stump John.
Hey, look at that picture. He's excited about it. Still got it.
I don't much care for Kyle's challenge to John's Heart of the Throne, but he had a strong showing this day.
There is no challenge. I cede whatever lands on the throne I take by sitting here. So
here we go. You wore this shirt on purpose. This is your chance to plug
That's
away.
right. I'm so glad you asked. A matter of fact, this is a doom metal band from Los Angeles called Early Moods, and I'm sort of obsessed with them right now. They have one album out, one EP. They just released a new single called Blood Offerings. They're very, very good. If you like Black Sabbath, Candlemass, Iron Maiden, it's kind of all of those in one, and they're super great live. If you get a chance, go see them. They're on tour right now with Lucifer and Coven, and then they'll also be touring on their way back to Los Angeles across the country as well. So you should definitely check them out. I think they might be in one of those Carolinas that you live in, Jay. So you should check them out.
Hold on, you can't. I live in North Carolina.
Okay, they're playing there.
South Carolina's. Sorry, South Carolinians. Right. Just do not let me in with all them.
That's how I feel about Ohio. So I get it.
I have family from Ohio.
I don't want to be like this. I'm obligated. Being born in Michigan, I blacked out a little bit. What did I just say?
But I will say, I thought that it said Farley Mood, so Early Moods makes that's way better actually.
Yeah, they're very cool. They're really good. So highly recommend. I'll send you some stuff, man.
Okay, well there you go. Send me a playlist.
Yeah,
Send
man.
me a Spotify playlist. Matt is a division of DC. Okay,
that makes sense now.
Yeah,
I did know that. It's just been forever. Dang it. Way to go, Patrick.
All right,
Thank
Kyle,
you.
where can people find you on the internets? Keep up with your wares.
Yeah. So my tag is right underneath my name here. It's my last name plus dude. Wadaga Dude on Instagram. That's kind of it. That's the only one I have. I'm on Facebook, I guess, too. But I'm in Discord servers, except for yours. I'm in.
Trust me, I know
Facebook
you're
groups.
Not in mine.
I don't want to pay for it. Sorry, I like you, but I like it that much.
It's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, go check Super7. Super7.com, Super7 on Instagram for new works. Go check out TMNT Wave 11. Very excited about it. Check out The Return of the King. The Rat King, that is. It's also not to be construed with the
Wait,
Oscar.
What was the thumbnail you wanted, right? You wanted Return of the King was your
because it's the 20th anniversary of Return of the King.
Sure.
This year, No,
I get it. It's
Oscar
fine.
winning. Wow. All right. Derivative, I guess.
But it's just like, is it spicy enough? It needs to be
spicy enough. Okay. All right.
Would Pizza Face approve of the spice being applied?
No, you're right. It's the Return of the King poster is the equivalent to finding a finger in your pizza. Get it?
Right. I love this from Ryan Dole. He'll buy your Patreon when it goes on clearance.
Correct. Well done.
Be on the lookout. BBTS GDL Patreon /$1.
Here, Patrick. I'm here. I'm from here on the hand.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, on the mitt. Mm-hmm. And there's that. What do you call the little thing that comes across this way? Right,
Upper Peninsula.
Okay, that's like Canada, right? Technically, it's Canada.
You have that for sure in the wrong place. It's here. So
whatever. Yeah. Mirrored images and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. Kyle, thank you so much for hanging out. This was a blast as always.
Happy to. Thank you for having me.
And yeah, thank you, everybody. Patrons will see you in After Dark. Go be a patron. Patreon/Geek Dad Life.
Do not wait for it to go on clearance. Subscribe now to Patreon for Jay.
Oh, see,
it still costs just as much money for him to do all this stuff, even if it does go on clearance. But it won't, because his content is premium.
Oh, see, maybe that was too nice.
Too
Maybe
much?
not-
Too much?
I don't
No,
trust
pandering?
it. I don't trust
Okay.
it now. I don't think it's real.
I wouldn't know. I don't subscribe. So.
All right, everybody. On that note, we'll see you all next time. Hasta luego and goodbye. Take care, everybody.
Later, guys.